Good afternoon and welcome to the Pharisee Trail here in Sterling. I am just off the parking on Cedar Swamp Road, and we're going to be taking this short 0.7 mile trail out to the Rock. We are in a section of Patchogue State Forest, and you can see the trail is blazed blue and white, and that's because the trail is off the main line of the Patchogue Trail. So there's a short walk from where the Patchogue Trail comes out on Cedar Swamp Road, and it's blazed all the way to this point. You can see the trail is actually pretty easy walking, a little bit uphill, and that we are just a bit east of Ekonk Hill, which has a number of farms that we might be able to see from the Rock. This has been a blaze trail since at least the 1990s. I've got walk books 1990 and 1976, and the trail here has been blazed since at least 1990, but it's not in the 1976 book. The trail used to go this way over Sap Mill Pond, but I bet if we sneak in here, actually not that bad. You can probably make out here that the beavers have been hard at work damming this up to raise the water level of what was once a marshy area into a nice little pond. And previously this area had been flooded and making it inaccessible. You can actually see the old mark on the tree there. Retrace my steps a little bit and make the real turn here. Come down to the outflow stream and this nice bridge. And you'll probably catch right away that we've got these old mill ruin foundations here. Old versions of the Connecticut Walkbook called this a sap mill, and that's because James Pike was known for having a sap mill distillery here in Sterling. But in doing the research about just what actually is a sap mill, it's a mill that was used to create acid to dye fabrics black. Found an article that talked about how James Pike's sap mill was near his home on Sterling Hill. And a map, I think from 1835, marked this area as a sawmill, at least through 1855. So still a little bit inconclusive whether this was actually a sawmill or a sap mill, and slightly less interesting if the maps are correct and it is a sawmill. But I did find it interesting to research just how difficult it was to create black dyed fabrics in the 1800s. Apparently you would have to do a natural brown dye and then a second stage of navy blue in order to get black. Getting close now. Been climbing steadily but gradually since leaving the mill ruins. Look at that. Right to the summit. I believe 545 feet. Could be a little off on that. Oh, look at that. The trail reroute that I mentioned earlier is from May 2020. Looks like we got a little geocache or letterbox also. And a harmonica. And this one's much older, it looks like. Yep, all the way back to 2015 at least. So why the name Pharisee Rock? It first shows up in a Norwich Bulletin article from 1909. At the time, this was the farm of Andrew Gallup. I think he owned it from the late 1800s through the early 1900s. There's an old Connecticut walk book that claims that it's a corruption of like far sea, meaning that this was overlook, or that it has something to do with a Native American tribe who lived in the area. Both of those seem pretty unlikely. I think there's an article from the 70s that cites, I believe a descendant of Gallup's, says that it was named for the tribe from the Bible. So the Pharisees were a sect that separated from the Jewish tradition, I believe. But then there's 7-year-old Donald Gallup, who says that Pharisee was the last name of a man who fell from the rocks here and died, although there's no death certificate to back that up. So I think the Bible reference is the most likely. Now, if we were here in winter instead of early fall, we would get a nice view through these trees over west to Ekonk Hill, but unfortunately you just get the slimmest little glimpse there. So if you're looking for the view, this is probably better visited in winter. To sum it up, this is a great little hike. It's only 1.4 miles round trip, but certainly felt like there was enough interesting things along the way to make it feel longer, and most reviews were extremely positive in the trail register there. I also dug the mystery of the mill ruins, and I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get any of the view here in early fall. Guess that means I'll have to come back in the winter. I'll see you next time.